So I know I had promised to make a more experimental video this week, but what happened was PlayStation announced an event, and it seemed like coming up into this event, it might be a big thing. It might be something that warrants its own video, like how I had to do one for E3 last break. Turns out, it wasn't really worth a video, but here we are nonetheless. Here are my hot takeaways for the 2021 PlayStation Showcase. Hot takeaway number 1, PlayStation is still squeezing its own butt cheeks. And the thing is, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. There's plenty of people out there who would gladly squeeze your butt cheeks for you. It just appears that you think you do it best still. Let it be remembered, this event did not begin with the rumored but still surprising announcement of Knights of the Old Republic remake, which, by the way, is a weird title. It works for Final Fantasy VII. It's weird on you. That looks weird on you. Anyway, the show didn't start with that, actually. It started with this weird 2.5-minute game of city chess with these young, high-fashion Batman villains outsmarting each other in a game we can't possibly understand. Ends with a tagline, "Play has no limits." And it obviously does. That's the whole point of games. It's weird how old school this is. This advertisement easily could have been from 2005. Same vibes. And this is how this event started. We're moving away from E3 shows. Here's this shit. And we have to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of this? And the purpose is to set a tone, to establish the brand, right? This will likely be cut down into TV commercials and put into Twitch breaks or whatever. But what is the purpose of this? What are you trying to communicate about your brand to us? Here's how it was advertised. These are diamonds. This is how Sony is positioning the PlayStation brand. PlayStation is luxe. These games are $70. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do when you're on the top. Maybe that's what number 1 is supposed to look like. I just feel like as an Earth, we're all still just clumsily rolling off of COVID, and nobody is diamonds right now. Hot takeaway number 2, characters sell games more than games sell games. Now, this is a weird thing for me to admit, because as we all know, I am the world's number 1 premier rough tumbling cowboy gamer, and I always say gameplay first. Okay? I've always been about gameplay first. But a weird thing occurred to me when I was watching the Tokyo Ghostwire Tokyo trailer. I think I've seen 2 or 3 trailers for this game before, but this is the first time I feel like I got it. And it's because it focused on this character, who is presumably us, but he's the anchor. Everything is happening to him and around him. I get it now. And I think it's the most effective Ghostwire Tokyo trailer. Forspoken had its second trailer, and this one was much more focused on its character and her cat. And again, I think this is effective. In this case, I think there's a bit too much. Okay, so when you have a character from the real world transported into a digital world, the advantage is that they can react to the world the same way we would. That's an audience surrogate. Whoa, this is crazy. It's just weird. There was like a minute straight of this character reacting to the wild fantasy things.
I just moved it with my freaking mind!
But really a common thread amongst these 18 games shown in this showcase is that they're character driven. This game is interesting because of who you're playing as. And then here's all the cool stuff you can do as this character.
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
Alan Wake, that makes me interested in who you are. That's interesting to me that you're a writer. Cool. And hot takeaway number 3, nothing was dangerous. I don't want to say that all the games are safe. Safe is a mean word, but they just are not dangerous. Nothing stirred me today quite like a Death Stranding trailer from 2 years ago would, you know? Nothing. I feel like next gen is lacking in intrigue. You know, what I want to be asking, how did they do this? Or even better, why did they do this? You know, there's no knack. Why are they doing this? There's nothing even on that knack scale. It's just all like, yeah, I get this. Yeah, I get what that is. I would say the closest thing seen to being a new thing is Project Eve. This is some weird stuff. This is a brand new weird thing from a new team making a new weird thing. I will say, though, that perhaps this character design is not a big risk. I feel like I am not worried for this character because of her shiny, immaculate butt. So, like, think about Returnal. You're worried for her. With Project Eve, it's like, oh no, is this perfect bouncy doll gonna be okay? Yeah. Yeah, she'll be fine. Finally, top 2, bottom 2, bonus 2. In my top 2, I got Gran Turismo 7. Now, I don't care about Gran Turismo, and I'm never going to play this game. However, this trailer stood out in this show. It's just proud of itself. It demonstrates a video game in its entirety. And strangely enough, 0 faces in that whole trailer. Humans love faces. That's why we click on YouTube thumbnails. But the GT7 didn't need one. That's impressive to me. Also in the top 2 is God of War Ragnarok. This just hits, brother. I felt the title reveal of God of War last year, which I didn't even say Ragnarok if I recall, was kind of hollow. And so I'm excited that when the game has been shown today, it's a video game. It's the whole package. It's a video game that looks fun to play today. I'm excited to coast into this little city. Bottom 2, Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. Here's the killer joke from the beginning of the trailer.
The matriarch wishes to share it with you.
United in the light of belief, all suffering, all grief will end.
Oh! Ah! Ah!
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Cease this at once.
Fine.
Star-Lord pretends to have a heart attack. Enter. Look, I do dumb jokes. We all know. I'm a dumb joke guy. I'm only dumb jokes. But you gotta keep them out of your trailer. You can't do that. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, you're in such a, it's an interesting game where, like, you know how, like, with a licensed game, a lot of people are like, well, if it was without the license, would you even be interested? And in this case, yes. Yeah. I might be more interested if this wasn't called Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just, this poor game's got so much stacked against it. Why pick that joke? Trailer editors, if there is nothing funny in this, if you're getting your footage and there's nothing funny in it, don't pause your trailer to stress on that joke. Don't do it. Just move on. Show more of this. I will say, to its credit, this was very funny to me.
That was completely intentional. The Milano's on her way.
Thanks, bud.
That's just cute. Also in the bottom 2, another Deathloop trailer. Now, poor Deathloop probably did not ask to have all of these trailers made for it. But the game is coming out next week. This sort of acts as a last appeal, a final appeal. Please be interested in this. The part I hate so much is right here at the end of the trailer.
Is this a contest for them? Some type of experiment? How does this time loop work? Does anybody remember? Why is everyone wearing a mask? What do you black notes anymore? Who am I?
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed and I'm not intrigued. Think about Lost. What if that iconic Lost trailer, right? Then it's guys, where are we? What if that was guys, where are we? Who are you? How'd Jack get that tattoo? Why's that guy walking now? Where's Saeed? What's the smoke monster made of? Polar bears? Like, don't just ask a bunch of questions in the trailer. just asking the questions word for word. Why are they wearing masks? I don't care. Unfortunately, in this case, trailer editor, asking a bunch of questions back to back, in fact, on top of each other, does not make your game more intriguing. It's overwhelming. And the bonus to Kid Amnesia Exhibition. Here's how to get me in 2 seconds. Like, I'm in. I was wondering, like, whoa, who licensed Radiohead? It turns out it was just Radiohead. I don't know what this is going to be, this exhibition, but, like, I don't care. This could be Tom York just, like, whispering English nursery rhymes uncomfortably for 45 minutes, and I'll download it the first second it's available. And finally, Tchia. I think this debuted at the Game Awards last year, but I think this trailer today left a greater impression simply on the basis of how good of a trailer it is. I think it's probably the best, maybe with GT7, one of the best trailers in this entire show. Great music, obviously, but also it's just got this nice progression from the simple guitar strumming intro to inhabiting a dog's body. I don't know, gliding into this factory. I love when a video game trailer becomes more and more interesting as it goes on, and this just hit that perfectly. This was the singular indie game allowed into the entire Diamond Club today. And in a way, I mean, it made up for, it would be the show would have had less whimsy and less heart without this single trailer. So, glad it got in. And that's it for today. Where's Parappa, by the way? Parappa got memed this week. Would have loved to see a wink at Parappa, but nonetheless, that's it for today. Because, okay, Master Onion says that. Anyway, Delayed Input will be back in 2 weeks, Thursday, September 23rd, and I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hi, Sam. I just reviewed the PS5 trailer for GTA 5. It is so fun.
So?
Well, so I was talking with the team, and we did have one question.
What?
And let me just say, the trailer is so good. Yeah, it's fire, frankly. And we are wondering about this one part where you're listening through the PlayStation 5 features. You say, improved graphics, enhanced gameplay, very exciting, seamless character switching, that's actually very practical, explosive action, and then it says, and much more.
So what's the question?
So, okay, so yeah, we're just kind of wondering what the much more entails. Is that why this has taken so long?
It's much more. Much more.
I guess we would feel pleased if you could hint at what much more could possibly mean. Because it does, and don't take this the wrong way, when the fourth item is explosive action, it kind of just seems like you're trying to make a list.
How fucking dare you?
No, we know you have much more. We know you. I believe nobody's communicated with our team.
I'll fucking tell you when I want to. Okay, we're fucking rockstar here.
I know, and honestly, Sam, if you could just tell us one thing, well, I could hang up the phone and feel comfortable.
Alright, fucking fine. We're adding a new gun.
They're adding a new gun.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Fantastic!
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, yeah. Sam? He already hung up.